Welcome everyone. I'm excited to kick off our presentation on classroom management techniques. Today, we'll focus on key teacher interventions, starting with giving instructions. This session will provide practical strategies to help create a positive and productive learning environment. So, let's get started. Let's start by addressing a common misconception. Often, when learners struggle or appear to fail, we tend to blame them. But the truth is, most of these so-called failures are actually due to unclear or confusing instructions. This is a crucial point to remember because it shifts the focus from blaming learners to improving how we communicate. Now, think of instructions like ripples in a pond. Poor instructions don't just cause a small problem, they create a ripple effect that can affect the entire activity. Small misunderstandings can lead to bigger issues down the line, making the whole experience less effective. And here's something to keep in mind. Those critical moments, just 5 to 10 seconds, can be game changers. A quick clarification or a moment to re-engage can make or break the success of a lesson. So why do instructions really matter? Well, clear instructions set the foundation for a smooth, successful learning experience. They help prevent confusion, reduce mistakes, and keep everyone on the same page. Ultimately, paying attention to how we deliver instructions can significantly improve our teaching and our learners' success. Let's focus on the idea of don't ramble. It's important to be concise. Say only what is necessary. Keep your sentences short and clear. This helps your audience understand better. Next, I emphasize keep it simple. Use basic grammar and vocabulary. Avoid complicated words or ideas. This makes your message easier to follow. Finally, remember the golden rules for lower levels. They help you communicate effectively. By following these rules, your message stays clear. This connects to our overall theme of clear communication. Let's walk through the key steps to effective delivery. First, it's important to give steps in the exact order to follow because sequence matters. When you're presenting, remember to pause intentionally to allow your audience time to process what you've just said. This pause is powerful. It gives your message room to breathe and helps your audience stay engaged. Speaking more slowly and clearly is essential. It ensures your points come across and that everyone can follow along easily. Slowing down might feel unnatural at first, but it's a vital delivery technique. Keep these techniques in mind as part of your overall presentation style, because they help you connect more effectively with your audience and reinforce your message. Let's take a moment to think about how we can engage our audience effectively. First, I'll write keywords or sketch icons, like a pen or paper, to illustrate our main ideas. As I do this, I'll use gestures and facial expressions to emphasize points, maybe a thumbs up when highlighting a good idea or a nod to show understanding. Then I'll guide you through the process using signposting, starting with first, to introduce the initial step, then, to move to the next point, and finally, to wrap up the main concepts. Throughout, I'll be connecting these points to the overall theme of our presentation, making sure everything feels cohesive and clear. The goal is to make the content engaging and easy to follow, so let's keep it conversational and focused. Let's take a moment to think about how we're checking for understanding. Instead of asking, "Do you understand?" all the time, it's more effective to focus on asking, "How many questions are you answering?" This shifts the emphasis to their active engagement and comprehension. Asking, "Do you understand?" can sometimes lead to a simple yes or no, which doesn't really tell us if they've grasped the content. So, it's better to look for specific questions or responses that show they're following along. Remember, the goal is to ensure clarity and connection, not just to check a box. This approach keeps the conversation more meaningful and helps everyone stay engaged. All right, everyone, let's remember. We don't want to start until everyone knows exactly what to do. It's crucial that we're all on the same page before we move forward. Now, when I say wait, I really mean it. Pause and be attentive. If your eyes are on a text, you're not listening to me, so keep those books closed. We want your full attention here. And speaking of focus, keep your eyes on me. I need your eyes on you so I can see you're engaged and understanding. Also, please hold off on passing out any papers until I've finished giving the instructions. It keeps things organized and prevents confusion. Timing is everything. Making sure everyone is ready before we proceed ensures the activity runs smoothly and efficiently. Managing your materials carefully is a key part of this. If you handle your resources properly, it helps everything stay on track. So remember, clear communication, focus, and timely actions all tie back to our goal of a successful, well-organized session. So on this slide, we're really focusing on the final piece of the puzzle. What is the actual outcome or product? Essentially, what are they doing in the end? This helps us clarify the purpose of the activity or instruction. Then, we look at the procedure. Are they working in pairs, groups, or solo? Understanding the organization of the activity is key to managing expectations and ensuring smooth execution. Next, we consider the organization itself. Are we going to play a game, do a demonstration, or maybe a discussion? For example, I might say, we're going to play a game to reinforce this concept, to set the tone. Finally, the summary acts as the signal that we're ready to start. Phrases like right or okay now help transition into the activity smoothly. All of these elements together, knowing the outcome, understanding the procedure, organization, and having a clear summary, are what make an instruction truly effective. They connect the dots and set a clear path for learners to follow, which is at the heart of creating great instructions. All right, now let's bring this to life with a role play. I'll demonstrate how to perform the task using a volunteer student from the class. This way, everyone can see the process in action. Next, we'll look at some worked examples. I'll do the first one right here on the board, and we'll go through it step by step together. This helps clarify the method and shows you exactly what to do. When it comes to indicating tasks, I'll hold up the book and point to specific parts clearly. This helps focus everyone's attention and make sure we're all on the same page. And remember, the key idea here is show, don't just tell. It's much more effective to demonstrate what you're talking about rather than just explaining it verbally. This engages your audience and makes the learning more concrete. All right, let's talk about what to do when your students are struggling or not getting it. First, if you notice confusion, it's okay to cut your losses. Get their attention back and restart the instruction clearly. Sometimes a quick reset helps reset their understanding. Remember, it's not about repeating endlessly, so don't repeat the same thing 40 times. If many students look puzzled, stop the whole class for a moment. This allows you to clarify or reteach before moving on. Always check immediately if they're doing it correctly. Look for those puzzled faces as a sign that you need to intervene. This early monitoring is key to catching misunderstandings before they become bigger issues. The main goal here is to correct mistakes early, ensuring everyone stays on track and learns effectively. It's all about making adjustments on the fly to keep the learning process smooth and productive. So, what I want you to do is really focus on understanding the strategy behind the task, not just the how to do it. It's important to, grasp the why behind what we're asking, because that helps you, connect more deeply with the process and see the bigger picture. What I'm going to ask you to do is, think about the purpose of each step and, why it matters. When you understand the reasoning, it becomes easier to apply these skills in different contexts. And, remember, when you're working through the task, use connected speech, fillers like and speak naturally, just like you would in everyday conversation. This helps make your language sound more authentic and fluent. So, in higher level classes, we really want to focus on explaining these key points thoroughly, but in a conversational way. Highlight the most important concepts and always try to connect them back to the overall theme of the presentation, making it all meaningful and engaging. All right, let's talk about how to really empower our students in the classroom. First, we want to plan and organize activities that let students take responsibility for the task at hand. This approach encourages independence and builds confidence. Next, we can have fun with it by giving wrong instructions and asking students to correct me. It's a playful way for them to practice critical thinking and attention to detail. Another effective strategy is using instruction cards. We give students cards to read in sequence, which helps them practice following directions and improves their comprehension. Lastly, having students read instructions aloud from the book fosters confidence and reinforces their understanding of the material. The key idea here is to let the learners lead. When students take charge, they become more engaged, motivated, and responsible for their learning. This slide highlights these strategies because ultimately empowering learners is at the heart of effective teaching.